Good evening and welcome to Hockey Night in Australia. I am Courtney Canaston, joined by Sean O'Connor and our guest from the Central Coast Rhinos, Anand Oberoi, the best goalie in the league. I have to put out there. 75 shots on the weekend. That was pretty huge. So have you recovered?
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for having me, guys. And yeah, it's been a couple of days now, so I think the hips have stopped barking at me for that one.
I can only imagine there's a lot happening to take on 75 shots.
Yeah, no, it's definitely tough, but you got to look at where the shots are from, right? I think a lot of those shots were perimeter shots. I think our defense did a good job at keeping them on the outside. So, yes, it's a high number, but I think in there you kind of have to differentiate between high danger shots versus kind of outside higher percentage shots for me to save.
I love that. That's something I hadn't considered. I'll be watching that on the weekend.
Yeah.
How are you, Sean? It's another week of hockey done and dusted and only a couple of weekends to go.
Yes, we're getting very close now to the clutch time for the season. But yeah, it was a good weekend of hockey, both here in Canberra and over in New South Wales. It was really interesting to see both the Rhinos and the North Stars both play at home and travel in the one weekend. Oberoi, what do you think of that?
Yeah, it's definitely makes for a long weekend, but it's hockey, right? It's part of the game. You can't play at home in front of your fans all the time, unfortunately. I know we have a great fan base with the Crash crew here at Arena, and a lot of them actually traveled to Canberra too, so it kind of helped us feel a little more at home. But yeah, look, it's a long trip, but it's part of the game, part of the schedule, so you kind of you deal with it any way you can.
You guys did really well traveling, by the way, down to Canberra. I think you surprised a lot of people.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people went in, were there maybe last time for the last game where it was a bit of a write-off, and then thought perhaps that was going to be what was going to occur again. But you guys changed that narrative pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think the first game we caught ourselves off guard. I think we just maybe weren't the most prepared. Not a lot of guys have played in a big stadium with that many fans that loud before, so unfortunately that wasn't really the best effort from us. So I think we're really determined to come back down to the AIS and just show people, obviously our scores haven't been ideal this year, but we are a legitimate hockey team and we play in this league for a reason. So a couple bounces here and there and maybe we steal that game. So
just touching on the fan base, I just want to talk on the Rhinos fans that have been just getting more and more at Arena each week. How has that helped just sort of boost some morale on the team when you see going from 2 years ago trying to just let people know you were there to now where I think most games have come pretty close to selling out, which is away teams fans traveling to watch as well. So how's that been for the team?
It's been amazing watching the fans grow. We, like I mentioned earlier, we have our Crash crew, which are season ticket holders, and Todovich there with the big loud horn you definitely hear at our home games. So it's been great having the stands be more and more full every game, to the point where we've added a grandstand behind the home net for people to sit at. So it's really good. I call it the WAG stand because a lot of the girlfriends and wives end up sitting there, which is pretty fun. But compared to last year, I mean, by the end of last year, we were getting great crowds coming to support us. But at the beginning of last year, it wasn't necessarily the most full building. There was still some very committed and loyal fans. But just from the beginning of last year until now, it's been a huge difference. And it makes the big difference to us on the ice as well.
Love it.
Yeah, obviously, you're a returning import. What's it been like to be someone who's decided to come back? Because I guess you get those sort of insights into how much the organization and how hockey is changing within the Central Coast.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate that I got the opportunity to come back this year. There was a bit of uncertainty at the end of last year whether I kind of wanted to keep playing. Did I want to come back to the Rhinos, maybe try somewhere else? But at the end of the day, I was really happy here, happy with how the teams ran. We have great ownership with Ellis. We have great coaching with Ronnie, great teammates. As you guys know, Bert, he's the best person in the world, and adding TK and all the younger guys. So it's been good returning and just seeing how we're running smoother and smoother every day, and even the whole league. I mean, it sucks it's smaller this year without the Sydney teams, but I think the league this year has taken a big step forward. It's noticeable. A lot of the teams are stronger, especially with those top end Sydney guys. Like you look at Kimlin on the Mustangs, he's having a hell of a year. The Kulishovs on our team, they're having great years. So
yeah, Dimmy especially has been phenomenal this year.
exactly. So it's been really cool to see just a 1 year difference in the league, and to keep it every year. Hopefully I could stay here to see it continue to improve.
Yeah, so the plan is definitely to try and stick around.
Yeah, I would love to stay here. I've had so much fun here. The hockey is great. The country's beautiful. I mean, Australia is definitely a dream place to live. As much as I like Canada, it's nice not having to scrape off my car from snow in the morning. So that's a big break. I mean, I show up to the rink in flip-flops and shorts every day, so I can't really
nice.
talk about that. But yeah, no, I would. I'd love to stay in Australia for at least 1 more year, if not forever.
Yeah, nice.
Love
How did
that.
you actually find out about the league in the first place? Because you came from an unusual route to the AIHL.
Yeah, it's funny. So I'd heard about hockey in Australia a bit, but never really took it seriously. And then when I was done at university, I took a year off. I was done playing hockey. I was kind of ready to move on to coaching full time, find a job, grow up a little bit, let's say. And I went to Colorado for a coaching conference, a goalie coaching conference, and Gabe Robledo and Sarah were both there. So I met them, and Gabe and I, well, we got along a little too well at the pub maybe, but anyways, so fast forward a couple weeks, I was still done playing hockey, and one of my buddies had just came back from France, and I was talking to him, and he said, if you have a chance to go play anywhere overseas for 1 year, just do it. It's going to be the best decision of your life, but worst case, just go home early and do what you were going to do anyways. So later that night, I sent a message to Gabe, and I said, hey, if there's any teams in Australia that want a goalie, let me know. And he opened the message, never answered. And I was like, okay, I guess maybe I didn't pay the tab or something the one night. But when I woke up the next day, there's an email from Ronnie basically saying, hey, heard you're interested in somewhere to play. And, I just started coaching this team. They weren't the strongest last year, but we're trying to build something. And if you want to come, you're more than welcome. So I did absolutely no research, didn't know what the Central Coast was. I'd only ever heard of Sydney, Australia. And I just said, where do I sign? I'll be there right when you want me. So, yeah.
Definitely chose a nice part of the world to move to, that's for sure.
I can't complain. I'm at a new beach every single day.
Love that. I think that's very much an appeal for Newcastle and Central Coast. Players come over and they get to play ice hockey one night and they surf the next day. So that's something our imports have always commented that they love.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because last year, before every game, it was really wake up at a certain time, get my food, relax, this and that before a game. And this year I kind of decided, well, I need to enjoy the country more. So when the weather permits, I'll wake up, go into Terrigal, walk around the beach, go for a little swim. And I mean, how many places in the world can you go jump in the ocean and 5 hours later get on the ice and play a game, right?
Remember, watch out, you're becoming a local now, Anand.
Yeah, I know. I sent a video to my parents walking around the shops without shoes on, and I thought they were gonna grow up.
Look, speaking of amalgamating yourself to the coast, we touched off air just about the Stingrays. So that is the junior club that will ultimately feed into the AIHL. It would be the long-term goal. I'd love for you to just tell us a bit more about the development that exists in the Central Coast, what opportunities there are for kids, and just your involvement in helping the local goalies and even some Newcastle goalies.
Yeah, no. So with the Stingrays, it's I've had the pleasure of being able to work with them. Last year I was with them a little more. This year I've been a little busier with life, so I kind of get out as much as I can. But it's been great to see development from the grassroots level here, right? That's what this league is going to need to build for the future, right? Is the younger kids getting into hockey and progressing through the levels. And, you go to Arena and you see all these practices with the U11s, the U13s. Bert has been a big help with that, really starting a program here. And, with him and Fridge and Sarah really kind of being with these kids all the time, I think it's been great. And even from last year to this year, I could see the development in the kids, and they all love it. And they're at our games being loud, and they usually play after us. So it's been really good. And then on top of that, with the Stingrays, you've got the women's team at all, where Emma Moonen, a Newcastle goalie, played last year. And I had the pleasure of working with her. This year, I've had Naoka Wellard as their goalie, and I've worked with her all season. And Olivia Last, who now plays Division 3 in the States, but she's an Aussie goalie. She came back to train too. So, no, it's been good. And any way I can help out at every level, especially with the goalies. I can't shoot a puck to save my life, so I'm no help with the players. But
I did actually watch that video of you this week with the figure skating crossover, and you seem to teach them quite well how to score a goal.
Well, if you zoom in closely, I think I missed the net about 20 feet wide, but some pretty good camera work there to make it look like I knew what I was doing.
So we're not going to see you soon as a figure skater?
Maybe one day. I don't want to reveal all my secrets here.
We have a few comments in the chat, and including a few questions. A friend of the podcast, Andrew McDougall, Obi. Pretty sure that's my reaction too.
Yeah.
Yes, we got Todd here, who is part of your season ticket holders. He's allowed to leave. Yep, I think that's well said around the coast.
Yeah, no, I don't plan on
Anthony Russell from the UK moved overseas on a whim, did no research. Tell me you're a goalie without telling me you're a goalie. Jokes aside, top man. Keep plugging away.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy to think about, but life's all about risk, right?
Yeah, no risk, no reward, right?
Exactly, and it's been very rewarding here, so I'm happy with the decision.
And the couple of questions we got here, first from Jeffrey Allen Roth over in West Australia. What's with the happy pants pre-game when you were here in Perth, Obi?
The happy pants?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Was I wearing a funny pair of pants? Was I wearing pants? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe a little clarification on that one.
Jeffrey, give us some clarification, mate, if you're listening. And the other question, Eric Balner, question for Ottawa boy Obi. What on earth is a GG?
It's the first horse out of the gates in a race. Oh. So, for those of you who don't know, my university, we're the University of Ottawa GGs. So that was my last team. And that's the question we get all the time. And that took me a bit of research before finding out. So, yeah.
There you go. All right, let's jump into, we'll do a quick results review. We'll hash back over the weekend. Split weekend for Adelaide with a 6-4 loss to the North Stars, which, for Newcastle, an important win at home, getting points on the board, and it's the last home game. So I feel like, when it's your last home game, you want to go out with a bit of a punch. So that was fun being a part of that. And as tradition extends, we got our big fan photo on the ice. It just gets bigger every year. Look, tough night for the Rhinos. It was a solid game. I felt pushing towards. It was really the later part of the game where Adelaide took a bit of advantage, but there's a lot of strength every game coming through. And personally, every game I watch, I feel like I just see so many great things coming out of the depth of the team as well. Like we touched on, you've had the Kuleshov brothers, got Lander, you had Danik playing in D. We talked about off air. Just there's so much growth that I know Bert was building in, developing the team. And as you said, I couldn't agree more that the Rhinos are a solid team. Even not getting the results, you can see that the strength is there, and it's coming. Your time is coming. So let's just touch on the weekend.
Of young guys. Like, there's been so much turnover this year within the ranks of the Rhinos, and a lot of that has to do with injuries and stuff like this. Like losing both TK and Bert has been a massive hit for the team, and I did see one of your young guys actually scored his first AIHL goal on the weekend. I'm trying to think of what his name is right now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a year for a lot of guys to gain experience. We've relied heavily on the young guys. I mean, Gustav's on the ice every second shift. Scott Dewar, he went from not playing a second a game last year to now he's found himself on the top D pairing. So, it's there. Some unfortunate results. The big thing is, it's usually a 5 to 10 minute span every game where we kind of let our foot off the gas. That bites us. So, but like you can see it, you can see the progress there, and we have a lot of great players. It sucks not having Kabara, not having Malloy. Sayers has been out for a while. Landa's been in and out with a couple broken bones this year. So, it's really hard to find that consistency when your lineup's so different every night. We didn't have a Ziz or a Gauthier on the weekend either, so we were playing with 3 imports. One of them being Brandon Mendham, who absolute trooper this year. I mean, he's only played a handful of games all year while he's waiting for his PR. And, we have a great group of imports, so it's hard to get in the lineup, but he comes in, makes a huge impact defensively immediately.
Yeah,
so
he has.
Yeah, so I think the big thing is it's just hard without that consistent lineup. Not that it's an excuse, obviously. We want to win every game, but like you said, Courtney, the pieces are there. It's just getting us all together, getting us to know each other. And happy for Ruben in Canberra there, getting his first goal before.
Yeah, Ruben, that's Ruben Dallas.
Hit, but no, he's been a great player. And but look, that's another injury right there, right when he gets his feet on the ice. So it's unfortunate, but I think in the room it's going to be a good stepping stone for next year, especially with the younger guys having that much extra confidence, knowing they can play in this league.
I mean, the ice time is really what gets them there, right? If you're not getting out there and getting to skate and compete against other teams, they're not going to be competitive. So as you say, it's very exciting to see. Like Scott Dewar, I'm familiar with. He came up the ranks of the North Stars club before moving to the Coast, and I'm a big fan of his. So I like seeing him get some ice time. So
he's a great player. So he's a love player in the locker room. I think I think he fits in well, and he's going to be a Rhino for a while. So it's good to see him getting his reps.
Yeah, it's also good seeing this year, like Mackenzie Bolger, like developing even further. Like he's become such an important player for the Rhinos. From being, he came in from the Ice Dogs, having not played huge amounts of games over in Sydney, and seems to have really settled in well and found his place.
Yeah, no, he's a great player, and now that he gets to spend the summers overseas playing some NCAA hockey, I mean, just from last year to this year, he's a more evolved player, more well-rounded player, and stronger skater somehow I didn't think was possible because he's already so great on his edges, but he took that extra step this year. So I'm excited to see what type of damage he does to the league next year.
It probably is a good thing about playing overseas and getting to play on, ice a lot more often than in Australia. You get to improve that skating skill.
It does make a difference for sure.
We have a few more comments we might jump to. Anthony Russell makes a great point. He just says the Rhinos are expanding the walls of ability. Feels like minimal gains week to week, but cents make dollars. Accurate. Consistency comes from confidence, which is spot on. And as you said, the young guys are getting there, and they're getting those opportunities on with players like yourself, with Danik, and then under Ron as coach. I think that there's a great environment there and endless possibilities for the team.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, get them on the ice. I know a lot of other teams really rely on the top guys, and not that we don't rely on our top guys, but I think out of everything this year, we are in a position where the younger guys can play a bit more and get that ice time where, it's kind of a tryout for next year, right? Unfortunately, we're not making finals this year. So what does it hurt to throw one of our rookie players on the ice for a couple shifts and see what he's got? I mean, worst case, you put the top guys back out there. So, it doesn't hurt us really having the younger guys out there getting their feet wet and developing their skill.
Yeah, I love that. We have a great question from Eric Brook, and he just asks, are you one of the rare goalies who wouldn't mind facing 70 shots compared to a more casual 30 or so?
It's funny,
Maybe
right?
a love-hate relationship?
Love, I think now that I'm a little bit older, maybe more of a love-hate. It definitely takes the body a little longer to rebound. But it's funny, right? Like when I was younger, growing up in minor hockey, I always played on the last place team. And, I'd get so frustrated. I hate losing, right? It's my least favorite thing in the world. But I'd get so frustrated. My dad told me, he said, listen, would you rather be the goalie who's just standing there all game, or would you rather be the goalie that's playing, right? So all these goalies I'd play against, they'd have insane numbers, right? Their save percentage would be 970. They let in 1 goal a game, but they're only getting 12, 13 shots a game. So, back then I'm still getting a million shots a game. And yeah, unfortunately the scores aren't going our way, but it was a great point by my dad where, yeah, obviously we want to be winning, but at the end of the day, you want to be playing. You want to be getting better, perfecting your skills. So, 30 shots some night, yeah, would be pretty nice. But you know what? 70 shots, yeah, it's a lot, but it keeps me engaged in the game at least.
It's definitely the right league for it. I mean, no goalkeeper tends to go, 970 kind of save percentage most of the time in this league. There's always a lot of goals. So, yeah.
No, it's very offensive league, we'll say.
So there are a few other comments at the very top here that I just wanted to get to. Eric says, "Go Ravens."
Next one.
Next one. All right. Jess says, this is referring back to those pants. They were like the hammer pants, but plain, red and blue from memory.
Oh, my warm-up pants. Yeah. I call them my fat pants. I have this pair of skins for under my gear, and they're like a 20 XL. They're the biggest pants you've ever seen in your life. So I put those on sometimes. I have to get the tape out and tape them up to my waist. So yeah, no, they're really comfy. That's the only reason I wear them before games. They're really comfy pants. I know it's
nice.
Makes sense.
Eric also says a shout out to Hunter. Yeah, he had a fantastic first goal on the weekend too, and it's good to see some of the youngsters getting their first goals around the league.
Hunter's another one of those kids that he's just been working so hard, and he's had so many good looks this season, like so many good shots. And the way that he got his goal was just beautiful on the blue line, a shot through a screen. And once the crowd realized who got the goal, they went nuts. We've been waiting for that one. We've all been waiting.
Yeah, and Eric was really excited. So I caught up with Eric on the Sunday because he came down for the Canberra-Newcastle game. And he couldn't say anything better about Hunter. He was, absolutely stoked that he got the goal. So good on him.
I'm glad it happened at home. I'm glad it happened in Newcastle.
Yeah. Yes, and yes, Eric, massive afternoon at the Palace. Could have done without hearing the Brave goal song 7 times, though. Yep, I'm sure most Newcastle fans will agree with you on that, Eric. Although the Brave fans will be vehemently opposed to that. They would have absolutely loved it, especially as it was our last home game for the year. So, that's pretty cool. And Andy McDougall actually has another question for you, Obi, do you speak French?
A little bit. I grew up going to French school, but I think over the years I've definitely lost a good chunk of it. But I don't know. I try and hold my own sometimes. I think I understand it more than better than I can speak it.
Yeah, I always think that's probably the easier part when you're learning another language, the understanding as opposed to actually talking and communicating it.
Yeah, no, reading and writing's way out the door, but I could barely do that in English anyways.
So we've got also one from Icepack here. Thanks for growing the game in Australia, mate. When you move into Newcastle, North Stars all the way.
I like it here. I'm pretty comfy on the coast, so might not be for a while, if ever.
There's a good rivalry now growing between Newcastle.
It's been great to see the rivalry, and they are the most fun games to play in, right? When last weekend, the Newcastle game, I mean, we probably had 50-50 crowd between North Stars and Rhinos fans, and it's always so loud in there. And even when we go up to Newcastle, all our fans come up, so it's great. It's a great rivalry, and even when the Sydney teams come back, I think it's going to be kind of a similar situation there.
Yes, and Eric and Pete, they've dubbed that rivalry now the Battle of the Beaches, and I think that's probably going to take off
I
now
like
as
it.
the rivalry tagline. But yeah, it's a good one to watch going forward. And next year, with also the reintroduction of the two Sydney teams, it's going to be a lot of fun hockey in New South Wales. So yeah, looking forward to it. And we got another question here from Daniel Collins. Young guys also putting up points. They aren't just getting their toes wet, they are producing. I would 100% agree on that. We've seen lots of young guys this year just absolutely smash it.
No, they've been doing great, right? They do what we ask of them, and even Riley White there, he's got a few minutes in playing behind me. The game in Canberra, and he played a home game for a period there with us. So any way we get the young guys in, and especially for Riley, kind of start developing that backup goalie there that can take over the team one day.
Yeah, I love that. Look, we're touching on first goals and players having some big success. So maybe we'll just quickly jump into the milestones. Off the top of my head, I know Pat Naden hit 250 for Newcastle on Sunday, which was amazing. And not just 250 games, but he is one of the players in the league that has only done it for Newcastle, which I love. I love when those milestones get hit for just one team. Like we've got
kind of
plenty
like
of players.
watching Webster last weekend, I think it was. He hit his all-time AHL record, and it's all been with the ice.
I'm such a fan of that, and I know it's not always possible. You family moves, and you get that sort of movement happening, like Wahib, who's played for Adelaide and Canberra and Newcastle now. So it all just comes down to personal circumstance. But no, big shout out to Pat Naden. He's done incredible effort. So.
Yeah, and then we've got Steve Best was also the other games milestone from the weekend. 200 games for the Adrenaline, which is also an amazing accomplishment. Not too many Adelaide players have reached that mark, so well done, Steve Best. He's absolutely killing it in the local Premier League in South Australia as well. I think he's up to like 70 points for the season.
Yeah, wow.
Then we had Kai Miettinen, 150 points for both the Knights and the Brave in Canberra. He's been a Canberra boy all his life. And yeah, the only player still left on the Brave from their inauguration in 2014. So well done, captain there. And then the last one here is Dimi Kuleshov, 100 points. What's it like playing with Dimi, Anand?
Unreal player. So much skill, smooth hands, smooth skater. So he definitely tortures me in practice enough. So I'm surprised he's only at 100 points. I would have guessed it would have been way higher, but he's got a long career ahead of him, and he's just all around a great player and a great guy.
He is one in particular I was glad got picked up with obviously the Sydney teams not being able to play, because every year he just improves so much. And I definitely feel like he's had the opportunity to flourish, and with his brother as well. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Kuleshovs.
Yeah, no, having those two on the same line, the chemistry is unreal. So it's really fun watching them play together.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, they have really good chemistry, those two. So, yeah. I think they played on the same line as well for the Ice Dogs. So, yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I was also going to ask about how it's also like to play with Thomas Lander, because is another player who's come across from the Bears, who's a long-time player in this league, absolute veteran, but still manages to produce a lot and, add to the team.
Yeah, no, Lander's... Yeah, he's a great player, obviously. Great to have in the dressing room. He's just kind of your classic Czech guy, right? You think he's mad, but he's actually the funniest and nicest person you'll ever meet. You just kind of got to get him talking. He is a little more reserved sometimes, but when you sit down, you talk to him, he throws these subtle little jokes in there, has that dry sense of humor. So he's been really great in the locker room. I know a lot of the younger guys kind of look up to him. I mean, he's got to be up there for most games played as well. He's got to be top 10 somewhere. So he's definitely an icon in this league, and just a great player and also a great guy.
Yeah, nice.
do we want to jump into fixtures and the predictions?
Sure, we can do that.
We'll have a quick look at what's coming up next weekend. I know Newcastle's got a break. So 2 big games for you guys, Anand. So you've got Brisbane Lightning on the Saturday, and then Brisbane Lightning for both games. I got those two. I got Brave and Lightning mixed up on the Sunday. So we were talking off air about this matchup. I'm sure Adelaide fans will be watching closely. And look, I am going to jump ahead a little bit and go, I think one of the best surprises of the weekend will be that I think Rhinos can stand up to Brisbane. They had a strong start to the season, but then just sort of lost their way a little bit. And if you can really use that to your advantage, and the way that the Rhinos have been playing, I think there's a good chance for these games to come out in your favor.
Yeah, I think one of the unique things about our position right now of not making finals is we could kind of play spoiler for some teams, right? So I know Adelaide is fighting against Brisbane, but you know what? If there's anything we could win this year, I think it would be so fun to kind of play spoiler for a team. So, you know, I think we could win one of the games at least and make that race for that last final spot a little more interesting. Please don't come at me, Brisbane players, for saying that. I'm just trying to have fun.
I'm sure you're going to have lots of Adelaide players in your DMs going, hell yeah, thanks.
One thing I want to take note of that is a stark difference this year to last year, and I think it just highlights the competitive nature of the league, is that we are still in a finals race for some teams. I have such a clear memory of last year hitting like June, July, and we were mid-season, and I was talking to Jason Quisler, the Ice Dogs coach, and the Dogs were pretty much eliminated because the other teams had just dominated the season. So for me, I feel like the fact we have this weekend and next weekend, both of those weekends matter so much. And then the following week's finals, we've actually drawn the season out more and kept it more interesting. So, you know, for watching games from home, for getting to the rinks, the games still matter. And as you say, the Rhinos games matter so much because you were in that position to upset that final 5th and 6th place, which is a very powerful position to be in. And if you have that mindset, would you agree that gives you some motivation in those games to just fight as hard as you have the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it's great motivation for us, right? Just it's something really to play for. Again, unfortunately, we're not playing for the cup, but you know, we could play for something here. We could put something on the line and say, hey, you know what? Let's play spoiler.
And you almost did it in Canberra. You almost beat Canberra, and that could have had massive implications on second place, for instance.
Exactly, and it was one of the things we went to the Adelaide game with as well, because we knew, like, if we beat Adelaide there, that kind of is the nail in the coffin for them. And I mean, they came out in that third period, and I think they realized also their season was really on the line there, and they had a great third period to win that game. But yeah, it's definitely something to play for. And to your point, Courtney, about the fight right to the end for a lot of teams, I think that's one of the good things with a small league like this and not having conferences. I mean, even when the Sydney teams come back next year, I think if we just keep it one big conference, it goes right to the end. Top 6 teams make it. And then, because if you look at
and in this year, they were going to just bring back just the one table for all 10 teams.
Okay. Yeah, no, because like you look at last year, right? The one conference's 2 teams that didn't make it had as many points as our conference's teams that did make it. So, you know, I think it is unique that just have one table and let chaos ensue.
Yeah, chaos. Here we go. Anthony, the Central Coast Kingmakers. Yep. And Todd here, play for the fans. That's always something every player likes to do.
Yeah. No, we wouldn't be here without them, right? And like we said earlier in the show, with the fan base growing, I mean, you know, we're so grateful for them coming. And it obviously, I mean, I'm a Suns fan, right? I've been getting tortured for years, but I still watch every game waiting for that day that they eventually get back to their 2007 days. But, you know, having the fans support there, even as we're kind of at our lows, it definitely helps out a lot.
Senators fan. They're one of the few NHL teams I've actually seen live.
Yeah,
they lost to the New Jersey Devils at the Prudential Center when I went there, but it was a feisty game. Like that Canada-US rivalry is real.
yeah.
Shall we roll into predictions, Sean? I know I've kind of got us started, but
Sure, we can go into predictions.
we have a little video for each one of them to help.
Biggest good surprise. Okay, Courtney, who's going to be your surprise for the weekend?
I'm sorry, Lightning fans, but a Rhino sweep.
And then what are you thinking?
First off, I'm going to knock on wood there. I think Adelaide goes, but you know what? I think Adelaide goes to Perth. They're in Perth. Perth's in Adelaide. Whatever. I think Adelaide goes into this weekend, and I think they can sweep the weekend too. They never say die effort.
Yeah, they've been real strong at like sort of this back end, Adelaide, the second half of the season. They kind of struggled in the first half. So, yes, amazingly, even losing a coach and all that, they've still managed to pick up quite a few points. And last weekend, it was surprising just how many shots they put on you guys. But they managed to, have that magic third period, which, doesn't always happen for Adelaide. So, often they're the team which are trying to just hang on right at the end onto their victory, and they can be undone. But so it was a bit different. So that's a pretty good call against Perth. And I think Rhinos sweeping Brisbane. Brisbane fans are going to hate you, Courtney.
Oh, I know. It's okay. I love them. I love that rink, and I love the vibe. But there is just such a strong fight between, I feel, Lightning, Rhinos, Adelaide, that can play a part in the mindset going into the game. So, if we spoke to Aaron Wannett quite a few weeks ago now, but he made the comment, even coming to Newcastle, how sometimes they leave their legs at home because that travel from flight to Sydney, they've got to catch the bus. So even the bus to Central Coast, it's only an hour less than if they came all the way up to Newcastle. They've, I guess, got to find some magic and something that can change that, especially for Saturday following some travel. So, I love the team, but I think it'll make things really, really, really interesting when the Rhinos just step up and can have a really solid game. I believe that you've got it in you to do so. That'll be fun.
I kind of think you guys have done the big ones there. I'll also put out perhaps the Brave beating Melbourne Ice might be a bit of another upset there in a bit, especially if the Melbourne Ice do play Booth. I know that was one thing that didn't happen when they came to Canberra, and Canberra beat them for the 2 games in Canberra. So that will be a really interesting matchup. So I'll pick that for now, and we'll go into
absolutely. Well, just talking on that whole mindset topic, they know they can beat Melbourne Ice, so they will go in thinking stronger and ready for that face, especially playing in the Ice's home barn. So big challenge.
Yeah, it would be a massive challenge, and it'll be kind of a precursor for finals, I think, too.
I think that might be a grand final, a little grand final action.
Are you predicting a bit of a replay, Anand, from last year?
I think we're getting a rematch this year.
All right, we'll go into our other predictions first. So, goal horn breakers. So this will be the top scorer for the weekend. Courtney, who are you thinking?
Look, because I'm pretty sure he's in the background of Oberoi's video, I am going to say that there's going to be some goals from Danik. I'm keen to see a few from him.
I'll agree with that one. I think another 2-goal games incoming.
Yeah, Danny, he's sort of hit the ground running since arriving in Australia. He's there's a reason why they picked him up last year, and there's a reason why he's back again this year. He's a natural goal scorer, so that's a pretty good goal. I'm personally going to go with probably one of our other fan favorites on here and go Hughie Kasaka. He's sort of magic on ice, and he's going to gun for Tanner Hops's top position within the scoring ranks. So the two of them have a good rivalry going on at the moment. So, yeah. And then lastly, the blue line defenders. So who's going to have the best defense this weekend? Courtney?
Danik Bouchard.
So your top scorer and the best defense. Man, this guy's going to do everything.
Look, what can I say? I'm a fan. But no, honestly, I think between Rhinos and Brave, I think they will be the two standout teams.
Yeah, I think Canberra's got some solid defense, so I think they're gonna go to Melbourne and shut both those teams down.
Yeah, they've kind of clicked into the defense a bit more. And both goaltenders at the moment, both Joel Hasselman and Alex Tetro are just they're playing really well. A really good tandem going. So I think that's probably a good call as well for Canberra. And then so that's our wrap for our predictions.
A comment from Anthony Russell. Courtney's turned Bouchard into Bugs Bunny from the baseball cartoon where he plays every position. It wasn't me.
God. I have no idea where this comment is.
He started it.
He might play goalie. He might play goalie this weekend. I don't know.
That could be an interesting twist.
I think he'd be pretty good. He's pretty nimble.
Look, as we mentioned about him in off air, it's like a two-way player like that can be incredibly valuable, and Francis Drolet has done the same for North Stars. So players that have that ability to drop back and just bolster and strengthen the defensive lines, as well as being able to play forward, adds a lot of depth and diversity to the lines that they play in. So I think it makes him very valuable on the team.
No, for sure. And even you look at Bert, I mean, last year, I think Bert, he split the season 50-50 down forward and defense. And this year, I think he was going to be our big D-man that we put up front when we need that big goal. So it definitely is useful to have those players that doesn't matter what position they're there and they want to win.
Yeah, Matt Harvey used to do this for the Brave as well. Like he would spend quite a bit of time playing D, but he would also play forward quite a bit as a center and would perform well no matter where you put him on the park. And on the ice. And Courtney, Drolet's been doing the same this year. Like he's been drafted in as a emergency D for you guys on a number of occasions now.
I think it means my dreams of being a first line center are still alive. So we'll see.
Yes, let's do it. Icepack does have a comment on here. He wants to see you do a windmill save.
I'd have to catch one first. I don't know. Two blockers out there.
And we got a good comment here from TK, Tyler Kabara. Obi, great Tandy, better friend and teammate. Team dad this year too.
Well, TK has been such a great teammate, such a great addition to the team. I mean, I remember last year, I met him for the first time last year and just immediately knew he was a great guy. And then this year too, he's been such a great addition. I think the dad comments because, well, Scotty Dewar has kind of turned into my son. It seems like I'm taking care of that kid all the time. So.
No, that's good. That's good. And we got one other one here. From Arne Anderson, Oberoi would have 9 of the top 10 saves this year just to have me use face. And like speaking of that, like I did create this graphic this week for you. 75 shots faced, 67 saves. That was just against the adrenaline. Over the entire weekend, you had I think it was 120 odd shots that you faced and 110 something saves. It was quite amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot. I think though that was probably my first weekend this season above 900 save percentage. So we'll take that. But like I said, I mean it's a lot of shots, and even if you look at that Bears game last year, it's a lot of shots. But you have to break down how many high danger chances there are, right? You give a goalie 100 shots from the blue line. Ideally, they're making 99 saves. You give a goalie 100 shots from the middle slot, well, those numbers are obviously going to dip. So 75, it's a big number, but I think our D did a good job of keeping those to being perimeter shots for most of the game.
Yeah, we did also. I did also save a good shot of you. Actually, this came from Paul Finesse, his net cam. And what was it like playing sort of in that kind of arena in the center of the thick of it? Like it must be, I don't know, it'd be a pretty crazy experience, right?
It felt like being back home again. In juniors with Erie, we would go, especially to London. They'd have 10,000 fans, and you're 17 years old, and it's loud, it's bumping. Even in Erie, we'd get 5, 6, and there's something comforting about that many people being there. I think it's probably one of the reasons I like being a goalie is because I do kind of like that added pressure and, really want to go in there and steal a game in front of the away fans. But they did such a great job at that rink this year. And I think it's just helped grow the game. I've been talking to so many people when they ask about it. I think, there's obviously a lot of Brave fans that go there. A lot of Road fans go there. But honestly, I think most of those crowds are people who just want to see hockey. In Australia, you tell people you play hockey. Oh, you play field hockey. Well, no, I play ice hockey, and they don't believe you. But getting a rink like that in the nation's capital, I think it does wonders for the league and just to grow hockey, ice hockey as a sport in this country. And, if we get a couple more rinks like that in the league, that would be huge.
Yeah, there was actually an article on the weekend as well from the Newcastle Herald, I think it was, Courtney. They were talking about the possibility of using the Newcastle, I don't know what
the entertainment centre.
The entertainment centre as to do the same sort of thing. Although I imagine Gary would not enjoy that. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it would be great. It's amazing playing in front of that many fans. I mean, even our rink, we got a ton of fans. It's loud. We have the metal stands, but imagine another 500 people in Arena. Just 500 people. That would be unreal to play in front of. But I mean, Todovic's horn kind of makes up for that noise of 500 people.
Well, I do also have a picture of what this looked like literally like 2 days later. And that's now what the arena looks like. It's like ice hockey never happened. Yeah. But it'll be back next year, which would be amazing. It's pretty crazy that they can put it up and pull it down just within a few days.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Sounds like a solid team. We're in there helping Kerry and his wife Tony. So a huge effort.
Yeah.
So credit to them. So I might just brush over a couple of housekeeping things before we wrap the show. I believe we've got some graphics for the Brave and the North Stars both cemented and clinched their spots in the finals. Yeah. Not unexpected. The fight for second place is very much on between Perth, Brave and Newcastle. So every result matters to see who might just get that second spot and not have to play on Friday night in a couple of weeks. So, congrats to those two teams. And I do have to say with Brave, I've meant to say it the last few weeks, credit to the marketing. I have loved their approach of protect what's ours. I think it was just a great angle and they've just done it so incredibly well. So, I'm such a fan of just that angle and their marketing all year. So, my applause to them. And we touched on Adelaide still in the running mathematically. So, again, that just makes this weekend's games that much more exciting. And the free game will be on Saturday, the Thunder versus the Adrenaline. So if you've got friends that you have been telling them to watch a game, get them onto this one. I think the Perth will be wanting to get some points on the board. Adrenaline will be wanting to do the same. So both teams have got a lot to fight for.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty massive weekend of games. And, Perth, Adelaide, it's so important for both teams. I mean, Adelaide basically go into every game as like a grand final, right? Like they have to basically win all the time. So, Perth will be looking for a bit of redemption after what's happened this week. So, they and they've been playing well, and they just didn't, they obviously didn't play last week. So having the bye always seems to affect every team this year, and Newcastle will get that effect this weekend, not being able to like chase that second place this weekend, while having to sit back and watch the Brave and Perth play. But Yeah, it should be fun.
So, any last thoughts?
Anand.
No, just want to say you guys do a great job with the show. I tune in probably 95% of the shows, and it's always a great watch, and it's great hearing from other players in the league how things are going for them. But yeah, no, you two do a great job, so keep it up, and excited to see how the rest of the season's going to shape up, and how the AIHL is going to be for years to come.
And look, we very much appreciate your time jumping in, just giving us your thoughts, your insight, and helping us get to know you a bit more. You've been an incredible impact on this league, and by far very much up the top of the list of amazing goaltenders that we get to watch each week. So I think there have been many times I've said that you've just put on a goalie showcase for us week in and week out. So it's been a real treat to have you on. So thank you.
Yeah, see, and you're just loved by everyone. Doesn't matter who it is, everyone around the league absolutely loves you that you're here, and yeah, do an amazing job for everyone here. I have a couple of things I want to last mentions. We did see that Ashita, another one of our import goaltenders, has signed for the Stars Kobe back over in Japan, so he'll be going back to the Asia League after the AHL season. I wish him all the best. Hopefully he returns as well. He's also been a lot of fun for this league. And how have you had much interaction with him?
Yeah, after every time we play them, we always talk to each other. So he's an amazing goalie. I think if there's going to be a goalie of the league for the last 2 years, it is Ashita. He is unreal and so fun to watch. I mean, some of the saves he makes, especially against us, unfortunately, my jaw hits the floor. So, and he's just such a great person. Yeah, no, just all around, Ashita is a very good goalie. So yeah.
And my last thing I wanted to bring up was Tristan Metcalf has put out a great new article on our website. We've promoted it on our socials. Anyone who gets a chance, give it a good read. It's about the run home for each team. So if you want to know what your team has got on, what they need to do, go read this. It's a great article.
Let him know I'm working on getting that DeLorean running. So
we will.
Excellent. Well, that wraps us for another hockey night in Australia. Don't forget to get out to your local rinks, support your teams, jump on AIHL.tv and watch the games live. And including, we've got the freebie on Saturday, Thunder versus Adrenaline. Every game is going to be, I think, edge of the seat exciting. So thank you again for joining us, and we will see you this time next week.
Yep. Thank you guys for having me. Have a good rest of your night. Good weekend.
Cheers. See you guys.
See you guys.
Bye.